Welcome back, everyone. U.S. Soccer presented by the United States Marine Corps. Terrific crowd. Argentina and the United States are scoreless as we are still minutes away from the start of the second half. We'll see what changes these two sides may make before we kick things off in the second half. And right now, let's take a look at the goal of the week. You may have seen it earlier. It's brought to you by Sierra Mist. It comes from the U.S. game against Spain on Wednesday.
Yeah, it was an excellent turn there by Spain in the second half. The U.S. just getting a little bit tired. Good individual effort from Xavi Hernandez here. See Frankie Hayden trying to tuck back in and help out, but a good finish from him. Spain with the 1-0 win there.
Our Sierra Mist goal of the week. The U.S. coming off that 1-0 loss against Spain. The match before that, 2-0 loss against England. Better effort tonight?
Oh,
so
yeah,
far?
definitely better effort. And, you know, it's nice to see different players getting mixed in there once in a while. You know that they're going to be tired. We did talk about how, you know, there's a certain amount of players that have had long seasons, you know, and you look at Clint Dempsey, you look at Tim Howard, you look at even Michael Bradley and Heerenveen. Lots of players who have done so well throughout the season. And now you got players that are in the MLS that are just beginning in the season. And of course, when we have international fixtures, that helps sometimes. More people will argue that it doesn't, and I agree too. But again, good players mixing in there. Pablo mixing in center midfield, doing well.
First half stats are coming up. Scoreless, but a lot of shots, a lot of saves, especially for Tim Howard. The corners, Argentina had the edge, and there were 16 fouls. What did you think about the overall physical play in that first half?
Well, there was a lot of physical play. It was choppy at times, and because of the speed of play, players just catching them like a second chance, a nick here and there. But both teams going for it. And again, like you said, Tim Howard has been a busy man tonight. Great saves, really pulling up himself quite big and being big for this national side of the USA. Maybe expect some changes, though, in the second half because, like we said, players are going to be tired, and Bob Bradley still has to assess certain players, and like maybe we see a Freddie Adu come on. Maybe, you know, we see a Maurice Adu come on in the midfield. Who knows?
Well, yesterday we couldn't get a starting lineup. Normally we can the night before a match, but there were so many players that Bob Bradley was concerned about, players that had played long and hard in the two previous games, other guys coming back from injury. You had mentioned this field just being laid over here. Other guys coming back, Frankie Hayden from travel.
Yep.
And he pretty much thought that Landon Donovan could go maybe, what, 45 to 60 minutes, not 90. So we kind of thought he would be in there in that starting lineup tonight.
Right, and when we did discuss with Bob, he did say, look, I've got to look at certain players and how that affects the game and also how their individual fitness is, JP. And like even a guy like Steve Cherundolo, who's had a very long season in Hanover, Germany, he's going to be fatigued tonight as well.
We're talking about the U.S. getting ready for World Cup qualifying. Argentina, can you believe it? They're already in it. They're 4 games in. They're in second place in South America, trailing Paraguay, which might surprise some people. Paraguay have 10 points, and Argentina are right behind them. But for Argentina, they've got a couple of games that they're thinking about. One against Ecuador, yes, but a bigger one against Brazil.
Well, and that game against Brazil is on that Wednesday following the Ecuador game. So not only do they have to prepare first for the Ecuador match, but then they got to think about, okay, 2 Lions going at it in the world. Argentina-Brazil is always a terrific contest.
I think Brazil might have been looking ahead. They lost to Venezuela 2-0 in Foxborough on Friday night.
Yeah, you see some quotes from the Brazilian players saying, we're ready for Argentina, bring it on. Always creates such a great rival of countries, and we talk about the club rivals around the world. But next Sunday, we'll see them play against Ecuador, and then they go and travel, play against Brazil.
So they're getting ready as well. A couple of guys not with this team that maybe we'll be seeing, like a Carlos Tevez, Riquelme. Those are probably the 2 biggest surprises, right, that we're not here with this team.
Yeah, and Tevez had such a great season with Manchester United this year, so maybe taking a rest. And, you know, hopefully Riquelme, who's such a great artist on the ball, sees the game so well. Not the quickest player in the world, but very quick in terms of being a soccer brain. He has a soccer brain. He figures things out so quickly on the field.
Good first half for the United States. Let's see what they do in the second half and what changes they might make. Their last game before World Cup qualifying begins next Sunday at the Home Depot Center. A match against Barbados. Argentina coming out now. It's Julio Cruz. If he didn't know Tim Howard before this game, he knows him now. At least by my count, he had 4 chances on Tim Howard.
Yeah, I mean, he was finding a lot of space behind the back line in those seams. And of course, it's when you've got guys like Maxi Rodriguez, Lionel Messi in front of you, Aguero running around. It's very difficult to shut them down. So you got to close them up as quickly as you can, but be compact. Tuck inside, make it hard, and if you want to leave something open, you leave the wings, but then at a certain time as they get closer to the goal, that's when you need to have the instinct and the judgment to step up.
Great numbers from Timmy Howard, and his team is qualified for the UEFA Cup, so that was big for Everton and for Tim Howard. We've got some subs up for Argentina. So we await some changes, and the same with the United States. That's Maurice Edu, who is going to be coming in. We'll see who is going to be coming out. Michael Bradley, though, is the player out for the United States, with Edu slotting in there beside Mastroeni. There's number 2, Di Michelis, plays for Bayern Munich. He's won 3 Bundesliga titles with that team. 17. Well, Sosa. This will only be his 4th appearance. He's coming in for Messi. So Messi played a half, but it was good to see him out there and good to see him in the starting lineup. There's speculation that he may start, may not. How long would he go? We didn't expect him to go 90, but I think we're all grateful we saw him for 45.
Yeah, I think all the fans in the world with the eyes on him are very excited that he came out here and played, and he did very well. The U.S. doing a good job trying to shut him down, double teaming, triple teaming at times.
What do we look for, John, now in the second half?
Well, in the second half, again, it's got to be what kind of attitude does the U.S. have as this game goes on, the fatigue factor, but being able to step up in the midfield there. You see fresh legs with Maurice Edu. Good pass through the ball. Puts himself in some good spots. Pablo will probably sit back a little bit deeper and behind him. And see if Landon can maybe go as a twin striker up with Eddie Johnson to have a little bit more targets when they go forward.
Sosa, and the foul was called. Pierce was the player that got tagged over there by the near sideline. Let's go downstairs, get a report from Alan Hopkins.
Thanks, JP and John. Well, one thing that Bob Bradley told me is that he is thinking with players in the mind of the heavy legs. He said there's a lot of players with this field conditions being heavy. He's trying to make sure he's got players that can do the work on the field. In terms of how they're playing, he said they thought they played well in the first half. They had some chances, but they need to do a better job of playing quicker and making sure they keep tabs on Messi, whether that's Pablo and letting Landon run free, or now Edu sitting in. They have to make sure they keep tabs on the best player for Argentina, JP.
Thank you, Alan. We'll see how Maurice Edu copes with the situation. Coming in here at halftime, replacing Michael Bradley. Pierce. The cross. It's laying there. Dempsey couldn't get it. Donovan. And he just missed. Donovan's the 11th player for the U.S. to get his 100th cap. No player scored in their 100th cap previous. Landon almost did it there.
Well, this is excellent from Heath Pierce as well. He's been very busy down the left-hand side, pushing forward. You need that, but look at the numbers around the ball. This is better from the U.S. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the strike on goal, but it's good to have those options. Players about Heath Pierce doing a great job attacking down that left-hand flank.
Driven across, off the crossbar. Edu leaves it up. The USA knocking on the door of Argentina. Donovan inside. He had Onyewu still up for grabs. Played across once. A chip. Headed away. It'll be a corner kick, but that was great pressure for the U.S.
Excellent way to attack the ball. Onyewu gets above. Look at this. Right across in front of the goalkeeper. Unlucky to hit the crossbar. Better start from the U.S. in the second half. The crowd is on their feet. What an amazing atmosphere here in the stadium.
Donovan drives it. Far side of the field. It's deflected away. You knew there would be a lot of Argentina supporters here tonight, but a lot of USA fans as well. Donovan cutting it, looking, shooting it too high.
Oh, it's a great switch of the ball out to Landon Donovan. And he takes a big touch inside to prepare the shot. Unfortunately, just a little bit off balance, but that's Maurice Edu. Toronto FC coming inside, the Rookie of the Year last year. Good ball to Donovan, and just a little bit off balance as he strikes that ball.
We heard the crowd's reaction earlier on a foul that went against the U.S., and that's my first idea at how much support the USA had here. You played in many games where you're not really the home team, even though it's your home country, so this is good to see.
Very good support for both the U.S. and Argentina, and yes, the melting pot in this country, of course, you know, the fans, the passion's there. Come out to support the colors. I think we shocked people when we won that game in '98. We're talking about Casey Keller beating Brazil. And we had a few U.S. players, U.S. fans there. Very important, JP, to keep a high line near that 18. Give that space to Tim Howard in the back.
Sent inside. U.S. will clear it with Beasley. Donovan got hit. Referee's got that foul.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the change with Messi as well, how this changes the Argentine attack. Messi's so dangerous and quick to move off the ball and have it. And there he is right there, taking a little rest. And he should, because he was electrifying against Mexico. He was great in the first half as well. So young, 20 years old. How much has he accomplished in the game? But it changes the game because now they don't have that young go-to guy. Somebody that can break down the defense right now. Let's see who steps up and replaces him.
Caleb for Eddie Johnson over the top. Johnson pulls it back. Maurice Edu. That's blocked. Cut off there. Mascherano foul by Eddie Johnson. He may have helped to sell that one.
It's good from the U.S. though, playing that ball early into space. Like we said in the first half, I was hoping we could find Eddie Johnson with an early pass and let him see if he can use his speed, which he's very good at. Getting in behind there, but of course Argentina making sure they get back to cover that up. Mascherano, Liverpool midfielder, down right now as the two tangle up. Just grabbing the shorts there and maybe fell awkwardly. See a different angle right now, but it's good to see that Eddie Johnson not only going forward but also doubling back and helping his teammates out. It's one thing with the U.S. side that is very important as they go into the qualifying is that the two strikers, whoever may be used or one, have to make it predictable. They have to put pressure on the back line of the defense.
To Marcus Beasley for Johnson, right back to Beasley, turning, finding Maurice Edu. Over to Donovan on the wing. Landon against Zavaleta. Beat him inside, and then he's blocked. Open man. Onyewu got caught upfield. Here's Cruz. Looking, leading it through. Howard came out. Player down. Referee says play on. Argentina's fans were expecting a penalty kick. They don't get it. Arguero stays down. And the U.S. will clear it out. Here it is again.
Yeah, you see this break here. Onyewu kind of anticipates the ball being played. The feet gets over his head. He slips the ball in behind there. Timmy Howard committed to the ball. And from that angle, you're not sure if he really connects with him or not. But it looks like he gets a little clip. And right away, the referee looking to the side to see his assistant. No flag came up. The assistant referee was in a good position.
On many nights, that's a penalty kick.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it is.
Tonight, it wasn't.
Oh, it was a great ball in behind that split the defense.
But again, the danger of Argentina. There's the USA knocking on the door, nearly scoring at one end of the field. One ball later, and Argentina nearly has the chance to take the lead.
You know, they have a chance there. It's safe to say that they really, the U.S. getting away with murder. Should have been a penalty. Showed in the replay. It's always easier to say in the replay. We have that advantage.
Zavaleta played it in the middle. Fernando Gago, what a chip that was, but the flag went up. Fernando Gago showing that skill as he tried to find Arguero.
You see Tim Howard having words again with Aguero. You see here, just watch the back line of the U.S. You never want to get stretched too much, but at the same time, you want to make sure you're keeping that line together. And there he is, just in the offside position.
Long for Eddie Johnson, cleared out by Argentina. Throw in for DeMarcus Beasley. Look is for Eddie Johnson. Back to Beasley. Laid off by Donovan. Here's Landon on the left. The cross, near post, knocked away by Argentina. Sosa on it. Cruz playing up higher. Arguero makes his run, but it was behind him. It allows the U.S. to catch up defensively. Arguero pushed it out wide. Nobody was there. Rodriguez had made his run inside. Challenge won there by Argentina. Edu lost it. Howard off the line. Tim Howard is in control, as he has been all night.
Well, he's in control, but what a great job by Danny Caleb to stay with his man Julio Cruz. One-on-one, really tight. getting around him, putting a body on him, shifting him off balance a little bit. Had a good game so far, Danny Caleb.
Maurice Edu pressured there. Goes back to his goalkeeper. Howard drives this one long for Eddie Johnson. Will go out. Throw in. U.S.
Very good start to the second half for the U.S. side. Moving the ball quickly, getting it off their feet. Players really good energy off the ball as well to create options. Of course, we saw Heath Pierce there getting that chance to come forward.
Mastroeni lost it after that ball was knocked away. He thought he was going to get a foul called. Argentina plays it up the wing for Cruz. Onier was right on him. And maybe a little too much. He gets called. ESPN's presentation of U.S. soccer presented by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. And in part by Panasonic Vieira. It's time for some Vieira time. Donovan breaking away. Trying to split two. He almost got through there. Help is coming from Dempsey. Dempsey will stay with it after the first attempt was blocked. Being pressured on the ball. Mascherano did a great job. Dempsey held it too long.
You see Dempsey actually trying to look for some options as he uses his skill and technique. Getting closed down there, but Steve Cherundolo very deep on that right-hand side. You saw Heath Pierce getting forward, but not a lot of support coming out of the right-hand side as Dempsey in that last play.
Cruz from Sosa. Cruz almost got through, but a foul before that. Julio Cruz has looked so dangerous here tonight. 33-year-old striker from Inter.
Well, he's good at, having that patience, waiting for the right opportunity and the timing. You see here, good feet. He's in good spots, and there's the 1-2 almost through. Calling the foul from Heath Pierce as he went to the ground.
29 yards away for this strike. Argentina with a free kick. Scoreless match. 57th minute.
The number of players in a wall is always personal for a goalkeeper. I'm sure coaches suggest sometimes to keepers you need 4 or 5, but Tim Howard electing 4 here.
Driven in, knotted down, and then cleared off their own player, Mastroeni for the U.S. Pablo goes down, the ball goes out. It's got to be something for Mastroeni, born in Argentina, coming to this country in his early years, becoming a USA citizen, playing for his country in the World Cup in 02.
Yep, absolutely. And, it's an honor just to be able to put the jersey on and look down at the crest and see the U.S. soccer badge there, and to be able to do it against a country that you were born in is pretty special.
He came out of nowhere too in 02. A lot of people were surprised. Not in 2006. They expected him there. The question now is 2010. That's what he's hoping for, as are many players on this U.S. squad tonight and in other parts of the world waiting for their chance. On the sideline, Sasha Question. Saw him the other night in an MLS game against Chivas and the Red Bulls. Here's Arguero for Sosa. He played it over in the right. Cruz bumped by Onyewu. Ball goes out. Onyewu that time very physical with Cruz. 2 big players. Tim Howard will put it back into play. Tim Howard now 29 years of age. Coverage of Euro 2008 continues on ESPN2 Monday. 2 big games, Romania versus France. France one of the favorites certainly. Then at 2:30 Eastern, the Netherlands have a tough opponent. They're taking on the World Cup champs from Italy, Euro 2008, ESPN2 Monday. It's the first day for that group. Mastroeni. Try to go long to Marcus Beasley. That goes out of play. Freddie Adu and Jay DeMerit appear to be the next subs coming in for the United States. Could it be the end of the night for Landon Donovan? We thought 45 to 60 minutes, and Landon's played well tonight.
He has. He's kept himself busy, being involved. And, in the past, he even said to us when he was down in England, look, I'm trying to do better with my mental approach to the game so I can be more consistent throughout 90 minutes each time. And he's had a good game tonight. You wonder how long he can carry on, like you said, with the injury. And there's a tough tackle from Pablo Mastroeni there. Collecting the yellow card.
No stranger certainly to physical play. Pablo picks one up there. That's his game. Hard-nosed for sure. With skill as well. Another whistle, another foul. Closer to the USA goal.
Now I see two big men battling for the ball. Julio Cruz and Onyewu. Didn't see much of a foul. I think Onyewu just anticipated more in the air and came strong through it. That's what you want from a center back.
You want to let those go, right? Just a good tussle.
Yeah, those are the ones you want to let go, and I'm sure Argentina's thinking, the penalty chance you don't want to let go. It's important to have the focus right now, the concentration. Get to this point in the game, second half, some players getting a little fatigued there with the heat, the field as well. And here comes the sub, as we talked about, Freddie Adu coming on right now for Clint Dempsey.
Freddie Adu will come in. Dempsey gets a nice hand coming to the sideline. Freddie Adu just turned 19, if you can believe it. This is where he scored his first goal as a pro. And Oguchi Onyewu will come out. Normally he plays 90 minutes. Bob Bradley told us he was struggling a little bit yesterday. Those are hard minutes he was playing against England and Spain. And now Jay DeMarin from Watford gets an opportunity to show what he can do. This one goes over Howard on the free kick. Still scoreless here. 62nd minute. Let's go downstairs to Alan Hopkins.
Thanks, JP. Well, Freddie Adu now into the game, and one of the things that Coach Bradley told all of us yesterday is he said Freddie does a really good job of finding the seams, and his teammates are getting more and more confident in him playing through him. When I asked Freddie about it, he says he's getting more and more comfortable. He says, I'm getting better. I'm ready to take on more responsibility, and if he can pick up where he left off against Spain, I think we're seeing another attacking option that the U.S. sorely need, JP.
Thank you, Alan. One of the things he also shared with us, he's reading the game better. Is that, John, just from playing? Just from that experience?
Yeah, it's just getting in game situations that, you find yourself tight seams, players marking you tight as well, and you got to be able to be aware and move off the ball quite well. Freddie's got the good skill, though, great speed as well with the ball.
I saw the club team he plays for now, Benfica. He gave a lot of credit to Rui Costa, the great Portugal midfielder who plays in that team, for helping him out. He's learned a lot from him. Mastroeni with the advantage call. USA attacking. Landon Donovan. 63rd minute. Right side cross is blocked. Mascherano. So the U.S. made two subs there, keeping Landon Donovan in. No doubt they spoke with him at halftime to see where he was. This ball comes back the other way. Argentina and the USA scoreless. 63rd minute. In front of this massive crowd. Lisandro Lopez is getting ready to come in for Argentina. Fernando Gago's pass to Sosa. Arguero. Zabaleta. Right side, Arguero. He's dangerous, looking across against Pierce. Back for Sosa. This cross inside, headed away. Mascherano. That goes out. Throw in for the U.S. And now we'll see this substitution. Julio Cruz is coming out. He had more chances than anyone on this field for either team tonight. Tim Howard beat him every opportunity.
And you see Lopez coming in there, who Freddie Adu will know quite well. He plays in Portugal, plays for SC Porto. Freddie at Benfica. And just going back to Freddie in that change, you know, he's going to play underneath Eddie Johnson like he did against Spain, but that means now that Landon Donovan will move out to the right-hand side of midfield, filling the role of Clint Dempsey. So now you've got two quick players on the field. You just wonder how long Landon can last in this heat.
65th minute. Argentina continuing to bring on younger players, lesser experienced players, but they were champions in the Under-20 World Cup and also Olympic gold medal winners in 2004. So the young players coming through the system are outstanding for Argentina. Lionel Messi says he wants to play for the Olympic team this time around in Beijing. 2008 starts in August. Free kick. U.S. For Eddie Johnson. Landon Donovan keeps it. Maurice Edu. Floated over. Mastroeni. As deep as he's been tonight. He was looking for Beasley. Sosa brings it down. Good to see Pablo make that run and get that ball across. Jay DeMerit on it. Pierce. Back for DeMerit. Maurice Edu. Johnson. The flag is up.
Well, the only ball that really released Pablo was an excellent ball. The weight of the pass, everything about it. Mastroeni getting on the end of that and whipping a great ball across. That's great because you start to turn Argentina in the back line.
Coverage of Euro 2008 continues Tuesday. Two games from Group D. Spain versus Russia, 11:50. Greece versus Sweden at 2:30. All the action on Tuesday. And of course, Euro 2008 will have those games tomorrow as well. Lopez couldn't get through. DeMerit played it back to Howard. Cleared the other way. Tap back to goal. That Spain team, Euro 2008, you'll see on Tuesday, will be the same team that played against the USA on Wednesday, beating the U.S. 1-0 in that match in Santander. Mastroeni. Pierce. Johnson. Right back to Eddie Johnson. There is no flag up. Johnson is in the keeper's out. He'll play it back. There's nobody there.
Well, that's where you'd be looking for. It's an excellent release ball there early. Put over the top of Johnson. His last touch, putting it too far in front of him with the keeper closing him down. But you're looking when the ball gets cleared out to have one of the midfielders step up and close that space down. At that point, again, they were too deep.
Whistles from the crowd. They want Argentina to clear it out with the injured player. Now the U.S. will do that with Eddie Johnson down. I was watching to see where he passed it to, so I didn't see. Was it Abendanzeri that got him, or did he just go down on his own? We'll find out here.
No, it looked like El Pato, the goalkeeper, catches him just on this touch. Is a little bit too big, and he just catches his ankle there. But there, see Argentina picking the ball up on top of their own 18. You want the next U.S. striker. You see Eddie just running with the ball there. Freddie Adu making an advanced position into the box as well, coming for support. Just need a little bit more players. It's a lot to ask, I know, in the heat at this point in the game, but maybe one of them. You got Pablo sitting next to Maurice Edu in the midfield. Push one forward at that point.
Did Eddie have any other options on his own there?
Well, if he took a little bit of a softer touch and slowed down, he could go one-on-one at the keeper. We saw Julio Cruz do the same thing in the first half with Tim Howard. Tim Howard closing that angle down, but I think Eddie, he exploded with his pace, but then once you get there, have control of the ball, have control of your speed as well, and slow down. Look at your options.
Landon Donovan over there to see how Eddie Johnson is. We're expecting Sasha Kleshtin to make an appearance. We saw him up with Bob Bradley. Right now, Johnson is off the field.
And Sasha Kleshtin having a great season as well with Chivas USA. He can score goals. His feet. He's a Seton Hall University. Played under Manny Shellshite. That's a good teacher of the game to have.
Saw him the other night in that Red Bulls game.
Yeah. See that? Sasha coming on for his sixth cap. Scoring goals this year like a center Chivas, so maybe he can be another option going forward.
Right side, Fernando Gago. Sosa. Turning. Fernando Gago stays with it. Arguero, he's quick on the turn, knocked away, but given away. Argentina at the edge of the box, broken up. Here's Donovan. Sensing the pressure behind him. Escapes it somewhat. And then the help was coming from Mascherano.
Pablo Mascherano doing such a great job of breaking that play up, finding Landon. Landon doing the best he can, really trying to hold the ball, using his body well, slowing it down, shielding it, carrying on, but still just looking for another option to release the pass there. 2 and 3 players closing him down tonight.
Eddie Johnson, meanwhile, is coming back on the field with the referee's permission. So, U.S. back to 11. Foul and a card. On Maurice Edu.
Yeah, how good is Gago, though? I mean, he supplies the ball, he plays it in so quickly, looks for the 1-2 back. Maurice Edu just putting his body in there, causing the yellow, saying no more. Young player, great experience for him to be on the field tonight. I'm sure this helps him prepare. He's always looking to learn the little lessons in every game, all the time.
Another free kick from long distance, 33 yards away. The ball is Sosa. And a red card. Was that a straight red, or did he take out a yellow before that on Mastroeni? I just saw him run over with the red card. That can't be for a straight red, unless he saw something or somebody saw something elsewhere. Pablo is amazed.
Well, Pablo, they're arguing, they're saying it wasn't me, I only have a yellow. He's not sure, trying to get an explanation there. And you see Landon Donovan, the captain, trying to speak to the referee as well, get some type of explanation.
You said how hard it was to hear in the field with teammates, let alone a referee trying to explain that now to the captain.
Well, I'm sure it's something off the ball. Mascherano is bending over. You can watch him the whole time. I mean, great camera work by our guys, but...
So, nothing happened. That's what confused me. He came over, and that's when we saw the red, and I thought maybe he was out of our picture. Well, and he had a yellow somewhere.
The only explanation I could say is that maybe the referee thought he gave the second yellow.
We're going to get Alan Hopkins in a moment. Maybe he's got an explanation for us. He's down on the sideline, but right now they're getting ready for this free kick with Sosa. Putting it up there. Headed out for a corner. Corner kick for Argentina.
Well, I mean, again, Maurice Edu commits the foul, gets a yellow, and then maybe the referee's thinking that's a second yellow and he goes to the wrong player. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
We get a report from Allen once this sequence is over. In-swinger, knotted down by DeMichelis, so now we can go to Alan Hopkins and get the story. Alan, what happened down there?
Thanks, JP. Well, no one knows exactly what happened. In fact, Alex Prost, the fourth official, he looked at me, he said, I didn't see what happened. Apparently, Pablo Mascherano was already booked, and after he showed the yellow card, the referee to Mo Adu, he then showed another one to Pablo Mascherano. That's why he was sent off. There was no confusion on the jersey numbers, but he booked Pablo. The question is, what did he book him for? Right now, Bob Bradley and the staff are asking that same question, JP.
Thank you, Alan. This may be one of the things we'll have to find out for sure after the game. Everybody looked confused down there. Meanwhile, how does U.S. play now out of this, John? They were playing well at this point. You mentioned fatigue at one point, but now you're a man down.
Yeah, it's important to make sure you get fresh legs in there. Use all the subs that you can in a friendly. You can use 6, and here you go. There, this is good. Sasha Kleshtin coming in. DeMarcus Beasley, you got a lot out of DeMarcus Beasley. Get his fitness back as well for qualifying. I'm not sure who's coming out. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're compact, patient, hold, and that's what Bob Bradley's saying. Choose your times when to go forward. Pick the times, the right times, when to get up there. Because 10 men against #1 team in the world is difficult.
Kleshtin will come in for Eddie Johnson.
So here comes the yellow to Edu, and Maurice is walking away. You see, here comes Pablo right here just to talk to him. Are you saying for me or for him?
Well, if that's the case, if there was a mistaken identity and he gave it to Pablo, he may have realized later that was his second. But was the initial foul? I'm trying to remember. Was it on A?
It was Adu. The foul was on Maurice Adu.
Then that's the wrong guy.
So that's very hard done by if that's the case. And Pablo Mastroianni, very unlucky with that regard. The referee making a poor decision in that case.
75th minute. USA Argentina scoreless. USA have beaten Argentina twice in 8 meetings.
And if that is the case, that's diabolical. That should never happen in any game.
Sosa, Arguedo, Zabaleta, Arguedo, Beasley's pass, cut off there, Fernando Gago, Zabaleta, broken up there by the U.S., Freddie Adu, blocked there. Fernando Gago trying to find room in the sideline. Down he goes. Argentina draws that foul. Another free kick.
Well, it becomes hard now for the U.S. as well because they're looking for options going forward to release the pressure. And when you got a man short, it's difficult. You're trying to keep your shape and be defensive. Got to be tight marking here.
Sosa strikes it, curls it inside, it's loose. Quick shot blocked. Donovan looks to take off. That pass is blocked. Meanwhile, Javier Zanetti is up for Argentina, their most capped player. Argentina with an extra man after Pablo Mastroianni was sent off. Amid strange circumstances. Eddie Lewis is up for the USA. He may be their next up. Zabaleta. Fernando Gago. Fernando Gago will switch it. Far side of the field brought down. Gabriel Heinze. Mascherano. Fernando Gago left it. Switched over to Zabaleta. USA shifting over. Blocked by Heath Pierce. Throw in deep for Argentina. And Zanetti is ready to come in if the referee gives permission here. The referee from El Salvador has had his hands full tonight. He's going to allow this substitution apparently. Zanetti in for Zabaleta. Zanetti a veteran of a couple of World Cups for Argentina. That's blocked. Freddie Adu picks it up. Meanwhile, Bob Bradley has Eddie Lewis up on that subs bench. The ball spinning like a top there in the corner. Now it's finally cleared out. The 78th minute. Eddie Lewis will come in for Heath Pierce.
Well, Heath Pierce will be should be happy with himself. Good performance tonight from Heath Pierce. Did well, showed well, good distribution, good decision in terms of getting inside and protecting, covering balance. Some great block shots as well, but I'll tell you, when he gets forward, he wins a good ball in the box.
Bob Bradley wants the veteran Eddie Lewis in there with his team a man down, and at this stage of the match, 79th minute, each side still can make another substitution if they want. 6 allowed in this friendly, compared to 3 normally in those big matches like World Cups and World Cup qualifiers. Eddie Lewis can play either as a left back or as a left midfielder, but he does bring that experience, a World Cup veteran, into this side.
Well, and Bob Bradley as well, look in terms of the shape of the team, and Zanetti coming in. What an experience Zanetti is, plays it into Milan. He's going to go drifting out to that right-hand side. You need some fresh legs to counter that as well. So Eddie Lewis will have his hands full on that right-hand side. Sosa coming on, getting his 4th cap, 17. Both of those guys kind of shifting to the right.
Intended for Donovan. Cut off there. Here's Zanetti.
You know, and it becomes difficult, JP, because sometimes you change to a 4-4-1. And you want to be a block of 8 that defends, but you don't want to get too deep because then you're not able to release any pressure and get forward.
So we'll have a throw in. 80th minute. Argentina and the USA scoreless at Giant Stadium. Fernando Gago. Argueno denied. Demiret. Donovan. Looks to see if someone's joining him early. That's questioned. Freddie Adu bumped off the ball, but he draws the foul. Mascherano wearing the captain's armband tonight, fouled him. Normally Zanetti wears it, but he did not start tonight. USA's last game before it really counts next Sunday against Barbados at the Home Depot Center. First of that two-leg series. Intended for Donovan. Off Landon, out of play. ESPN2 will carry that game next Sunday for you, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and then the following Sunday, off to Barbados for the second leg. USA having to adjust with Mascherano going off in the 71st minute with that red card. Fernando Gago, Javier Zanetti. Gago again. Zanetti. Fernando Gago. The cross. Flicked away. Nice job by Cherundolo. Argentina had one or two players that appear to be open.
Fernando Gago finding lots of space right now. What a distribute. He's a great passer of the ball. Good position, though, by Steve Cherundolo just to get in there.
Sixth quarter. Argentina. They'll play it short. Argueno. He gets called for the foul.
Excellent defender by Steve Cherundolo. You would think he'd be exhausted at this point.
Largest crowd to watch a U.S. men's game here by about 30,000, if I recall correctly. They do 45,000 for a game here against Mexico in 2000. Tim Howard clears it. Scoreless, 82nd minute. USA versus number 1, Argentina. Fernando Gago switching it over. Caminegi. Donovan for the U.S. Slicing it through to Kleshton. Freddie Adu was making the run. Kleshton didn't see him, brought it back. Here's Donovan. He kept it moving for Eddie Lewis. The cross. Oh, Freddie Adu was there. Ball just didn't make it to him.
That's great play by Sasha Kleshton and Landon Donovan combining through the midfield, being patient and really taking care of the ball. And a good ball out to Eddie Lewis for the service.
Freddie Adu was double teamed there in the corner. Wanting a foul, getting a foul.
Zanetti trying to figure out how he called the foul there.
The rain is now picked up. It rained earlier in the night. Now we're getting more of it in the 84th minute. Tim Howard came all the way up the field to talk to Cherundolo right at the halfway line and pass along some instruction because there's no way you can communicate with this noise.
He's telling them, make sure you keep 2 here. Don't leave a one-on-one situation at the midfield on the counterattack.
Donovan with a free kick. Headed out. It'll be a corner for the United States. Their 5th.
A good ball from Landon Donovan. Very good ball, dangerous into Jay Demerit there, but good from Sasha Kljestan as well. Made a near post run to pull his face out, pull the player with him. So nice to see the atmosphere from this stadium.
Donovan drives it to the middle, headed straight up and out. Another corner for the U.S.
Well, you know, at times as well, you see throughout many games that the team playing with 10 sometimes organizes themselves well, and you change the tactics, and they're able to play a little bit better and counter. And with fresh legs coming on, Sasha Kljestan, Eddie Lewis, Jay Demerit, you wonder how long Steve Cherundolo can go. You got Maurice Edu in there.
The referee was just writing somebody's number in the book. Just presented another one. Here's the corner for Donovan. He'll drive it near post. It comes out off a deflection. What do you do? Too high off the right foot. Argentina coming back as the rain intensifies. Giant stadium. Maurice Edu. USA down to 10 men, but you wouldn't know it by the way they've attacked the last few minutes here. Letting the ball do the work, getting some opportunities. Guerrero leads it. Lopez leaves it off. U.S. is able to move it away. That's blocked. Oh, Donovan is down. And another card, yellow for Mascherano.
That's his second yellow as well. You know, Landon Donovan doing a good job to put himself in the position there. First, it kind of waited for the ball. You saw Mascherano step inside, but then Landon gets a toe poke on it. Here it is again. He just gets a toe poke, and there it is across the high shin. That's a dangerous, reckless challenge for Mascherano. He's reaching for the ball, but you see Landon, the quickness as he gets it just before a split second. That's a bad foul. And Landon's feeling that. He's trying to walk it off, but now he's down.
I was just about to ask you how great this must be for Landon, because they thought he could play 45 to 60, and he was headed for a full 90.
Yeah, and it just shows how fit he really is. And he does a good job, and I'll tell you, he's inspired to play. It's a great challenge when you want to play against the #1 team in the world.
His 100th cap, and he's making it to the 87th minute, making it now to the sideline. And you know he's going to want to go back in.
Yeah, and I'm sure that rain's probably refreshing for the players. You know, so many players love to play in the rain. It just kind of wakes you up, especially when you have 10 men.
And is up by the 4th official, as is Ever Banega, another sub. So the groin injury apparently has responded pretty well for Donovan to be able to go like this tonight as he gets ready for World Cup qualifying starting next Sunday. Home Depot Center versus Barbados. Cut off there by Argentina. Sosa. Sounds like thunder in the background now besides the rain. Scoreless here. Argentina and the United States are going to allow this other sub. Guerrero is going to come out. He's a player to watch in the future for certain, for club and country. And in comes Ever Banega at age 19, the youngest player on this squad. He plays with Valencia in Spain. Banega, both teams with 10 men. Sosa's pass. Freddie Adu has some fresher legs because he came on in the second half. Looks for Kljestan. Right back to Freddie Adu. Taking on players. Freddie Adu cutting inside and then lost it in the end. But he got this crowd up on their feet.
Well, he made his mind up to go and continue there. Sasha Kljestan kind of asking him to drop the ball back. It's Freddie saying, no, I want to go one-on-one. I want to go one-on-two. So it's refreshing, but at the same time, this late in the game, you want to keep possession. He does a good job. Great run out of the midfield from the young player.
Zanetti. Sosa. Pressured by Edu. Switched over. Gonzalo Rodriguez passed that ball across.
But regardless of what happens here in the final parts of this game, it's been a very good disciplined performance from the USA tonight.
0-0 would be a good result for them. A win, obviously, would have been an upset over #1 Argentina.
Yeah.
You could argue that if it ends like this, it's an upset too.
Right, and when you're playing against so much quality on the field, and it's a good reason to say it's a good performance, because so many people discount the U.S. and say, well, we're not at that level yet. But look, Mexico got thrashed 4-1. The U.S. comes out here, keeps their shape, their balance, their discipline, able to pass the ball, have the confidence as the game goes on. And look at this from Freddie. He's just enjoying the moment.
He has the confidence. Edu. Left side for Eddie Lewis. That's dangerous. Jay DeMerit stepped up. Otherwise, Argentina could have had some numbers going forward in the end.
And in Bob Bradley's eyes, the head coach, he's, accomplished what he wanted. Assessing the players, seeing what they could do. That mental toughness, that mental strength to stay in, especially when you go 10 men down.
5 minutes of stoppage time. Frankie Haydock will be coming in for DeMarcus Beasley. And that's another player that's going to go almost 90 minutes. That might be a bit of a surprise. Let's go downstairs. How's the weather doing there, Alan?
JP, I found a dry place, but the Doppler 7000 report, the skies have opened up. The players right now are just hoping that the lightning and the thunder don't prevent this game from finishing any further delays, but the players don't seem to have any issues, really. The footing, which hasn't been an issue at all tonight, I think won't be an issue as well the rest of the game, JP.
Stay dry, Alan. Here's Donovan. Right side, Queston on the run. Queston cuts, looks, shoots, and it was deflected at the last moment. Otherwise, he might have had a winner.
What an excellent play. I mean, Freddie Adu, great speed on the ball, just holding this and then collecting it and giving it to Landon Donovan through the legs of a player. And then Sasha Question with the energy to get forward, coming on as a second half sub. Ball laid in there, cuts the first one, unlucky, gets deflected for the corner.
Donovan again, 2nd minute of stoppage time. He'll drive it to the middle, not it down. There's a big crowd in front, nobody had a clear look at it. Argentina coming back, pushing it up, Benega. Good one over the top, and Howard sees it and has it. The rain continuing at Giant Stadium. Almost 80,000 were in this stadium tonight. Making noise right from the get-go, just like a World Cup match.
Absolutely like a World Cup match. And you talk about the 3 opponents they've had, England, Spain, and Argentina. And the difference here is that this team tonight did not come out and play scared. Against England, they did. A little bit nervous at Wembley. Tonight, the confidence is there.
Javier Zanetti, pressured by Frankie Haydock. Cut off there by DeMerit. And it goes back the other way. How about Frankie Haydock, 90 last night in the MLS game. Columbus played against San Jose, and now he's playing here in the end.
I'm sure Bob Bradley just saying to him, give me what you can. We need you to get in there. Frankie doesn't say no.
Gago with a pass, knocked away. Jay DeMerit. Here's Donovan, continuing his play. Freddie Adu. Tackle from behind. Freddie stays down. No card.
I would think Kavanaghi gets booked there. You're always told that any tackle from behind. He's trying to come from the side here. He's going for the ball, but that's a foul from behind. It's a yellow card.
I think the cards are all wet. That's why. Final minutes here. 4th minute of stoppage time. Each team has had a man sent off.
Cherundolo getting fouled there on that last ball. Against Steve Cherundolo. A long season for him in the Bundesliga with Hanover. He's poured his heart out tonight on this pitch. He must be exhausted. So many players must be tired at this point. They need to dig down, and that's what they're doing well.
Great effort tonight from the U.S. Still looking here for one in the end. It remains scoreless. USA and Argentina. Throw in from the near sideline for the United States. Well, just like a World Cup, you want to start off a certain way, improve your game as you go, and in the end, be at your best. And if this is game 3 of a World Cup, they save their best here. They're peaking now. Absolutely, JP. Good point.
You know, and at the same time, they haven't settled. They haven't dropped into a shell and settled. They said, let's get after them. Let's go. And that's the best defense, isn't it, really, when you talk about it? It's an attack. And the U.S. have done that well. Certain individuals have come on this field in the second half and opened it up with the confidence Freddie Adu. Even Landon, you know, from the beginning, but excellent play.
USA chance drowned out the referee's final whistle. The USA appears ready to start World Cup qualifying.
Well, I think they've accomplished things, you know, in the last 3 games, and they always say you want to learn from it, see what you can assess in terms of the players and the squad who complements each other on the field. But this is a great performance tonight to finish up this really tough challenge of the 3 internationals they've had.
Not just the performance, but the USA also gets a very good result here tonight. They get Landon Donovan back. He plays the full 90. Tim Howard was sensational in goal for the United States. They took on mighty Argentina, #1 in the world, and played level. We're coming back for the wraps on this one. Final score ended up scoreless between Argentina and the USA, and certainly one of the reasons for that shutout for the United States was the play and goal of Tim Howard. He is downstairs with Alan Hopkins.
Thanks, JP. Tim, one of the strongest performances as the goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team. How were you able to be successful tonight?
You know, I don't know. I just try and in those situations make myself big, try and read it. It doesn't always come off, but I think tonight I was reading the ball well. You know, defenders as a whole I thought played well. You know, look, they're Argentina. They're the best in the world for a reason. And they carved us open up a few times, but I think, again, all in all, we did pretty well.
World Cup qualifying a week from today. What have you seen in your team in terms of improvement from the England game, the Spain game, to here tonight against Argentina?
Well, I think tonight it was about standing up for ourselves, believing we could get a result. Look, they didn't play their third team. They played all their big players. They brought on some big players when it was 0-0, trying to go for it. We stood up to the challenge. It wasn't always pretty at times, but I mean, if we can take those performances into CONCACAF qualifying, man, I think we'll be all right.
All right, congratulations on a great performance tonight, Tim. We'll see you down the road. Back to you, JP.
Thanks, Alan. And Tim mentioned CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. John, it starts next Sunday. How does tonight's result help the USA as they prepare for a couple with Barbados?
Well, I think it's the confidence level, the self-pride, and also, you know, now it becomes a time where you have to recover. You have to recover. You have to identify and assess who's available, who's fit, who's ready to play when it starts June 15th on Father's Day.
These 3 games certainly had to take a lot out of this team. They will need some recovery time.
Yeah, they're going to need recovery time. I think, you know, from the players' standpoint, they'll feel good about this, going into the dressing room, looking at each other in the eye and say, you fought for me, I fought for you, we dug in together, brings the team together. That's the best thing you can do before a qualifier.
Terrific result tonight, terrific crowd as well. Argentina and the United States ended up scoreless tonight in front of almost